Hi everyone! Today we're diving into the science behind allergy-friendly ingredient substitutes. Whether you're allergic to eggs, dairy, or gluten, you've probably encountered ingredient substitutes that try to replicate the function of these allergens in recipes. But how do they really work? And how do they impact the final product in terms of taste, texture, and structure? Let's break down the chemistry behind some of the most popular substitutes, and I'll give you some tips on how to pick the right one for specific dishes. Eggs play multiple roles in cooking and baking, from binding ingredients together to trapping air for leavening. When we look for substitutes, we need to think about how to mimic these functions. For example, flaxseed meal mixed with water is often used to replace eggs because it forms a gel-like consistency. This is due to the soluble fibers in flax, which create a mucilage when hydrated. Flaxseed works best in recipes like cookies or dense cakes because it provides moisture and a chewy texture, but it doesn't offer much in terms of leavening. On the other hand, commercial egg replacers contain starches, like tapioca or potato, combined with leavening agents. These create a more neutral texture that's closer to eggs. Flaxseed offers fiber and binding, but it is best for dense recipes. For something like a cake or bread where you need more lift, a commercial egg replacer would be a better choice. Dairy substitutes can vary widely, depending on the specific purpose they serve in the recipe. If you look at milk, for example, its main contributions to a dish are liquid, fat, and sometimes even a bit of protein. Almond milk is great, but because it has a very low fat content, it doesn't work well with dishes that need to be creamy or rich. For those creamy dishes, coconut cream is an ideal replacement. It has a high fat content similar to dairy cream and can replicate thick sauces or rich desserts. Another alternative, oat milk, has a higher viscosity than almond milk, making it a solid option for baking or coffee where you want creaminess but without altering the taste significantly. Its beta-glucan content also gives it a slightly thicker consistency, which is useful in certain recipes. Gluten plays a crucial role in providing structure to baked goods because of its unique protein network that traps air and gives elasticity to dough. Gluten-free flours can't replicate this directly, so understanding the chemical makeup of your substitutes is key. Almond flour is rich in fats and proteins, but it lacks the elasticity of gluten, meaning your baked goods will tend to be denser. It works well in cookies and cakes that benefit from a rich, moist texture like macarons, but not so much in bread where you need a spring, airy crumb. Coconut flour, on the other hand, is extremely absorbent because of its high fiber content. This means that you'll need to increase the liquid in your recipe significantly to avoid dry, crumbly results. It's great for dense, fiber-rich recipes, but can be tricky in lighter baking. Finally, gluten-free all-purpose flour blends often combine rice flour, tapioca starch, and xanthan gum to mimic the binding properties of gluten. These work best for general-purpose baking, but they still may not achieve the same level of rise as traditional flour. So, how do you choose the best substitute for your recipe? The first thing to consider is the role of the allergen in the dish. For instance, if you need eggs for binding, flaxseed or chia seeds work well in dense baked goods. But if you need eggs for leavening, a commercial replacer is the better option. For dairy, it's all about fat content. If you need creaminess, go for something like coconut milk. But if you need a neutral all-purpose liquid, oat milk could work without altering the flavor. And as for gluten-free baking, your best bet is to combine different flours to get the right balance of moisture, structure, and texture. So while cooking allergen-free can seem complicated, it's all about understanding the science behind these ingredients. By choosing the right substitute for your specific role your allergen plays in a dish, you can still create delicious, texture-rich meals without sacrificing taste.